Tally, guys. Unmute the mic. Welcome to the Sheriff Jonathon Horton Show. Jeff Underwood, Jerry White, that's your sheriff, Sheriff Jonathon Horton.
That
What's
is
up,
my
guys?
sheriff, man. So excited. I always love this show, man. First, thanks for taking the time. I know you're slammed, and we got a few different directions to go on. But something that stuck out to me yesterday, I love when you guys put out your monthly patrol stats. Mm-hmm. That's so cool. I mean, it just fascinates me that there's that many calls and such a variety of calls that I don't even think about.
Yeah. You got 589 square miles and 105,000 people, and every day it could be anything from a person that has Alzheimer's or dementia that's wandered off, to a domestic call, to the neighbor's dog. You just never know, a variety of people.
I'm gonna read these and go down just to because I want people that didn't get a chance to read it, but please follow them on social media. Great information. Calls for service 514. Incident reports 86, arrests made 80, citation warnings 13. Circle that. We'll get back to that for a second. Warrant served 61, civil paper served 189, nightly business checks 516, total miles transports 33,000. That's so busy. But the reason I want to circle back to citations or warnings, I think warnings, that shows me that the deputy, hey, I'm looking at everything from a holistic standpoint, and sometimes somebody just deserves a warning, right? And so I just find that's pretty awesome.
And we emphasize that the spirit of the law versus the letter of the law.
Yeah.
The letter of the law says this is right and this is wrong. The spirit of the law says, look at that, but what's the best outcome for everyone?
Yeah.
And so taking all that into totality, many times a warning is much more appropriate, especially when you got a young person.
Sure.
If you can have a teaching moment there and say, Mom and Dad, a lot of insurance in.
That's right.
So if a deputy writes a ticket, it's usually very well deserved. It's to teach the lesson of, the ticket's better than death. If someone's doing 35, 40 miles over the speed limit, or has a pattern of continuing to do that, then there's a time for it to.
Sure.
But we certainly want to take every opportunity to help people first.
If you ever want to write one, let me know.
Can we get some commission? I mean, we'll help y'all out, man. That's so funny.
Does the county have, we have a lot of flock cameras in the county? Because I need one right there in front of my house.
That's a hot topic right now, obviously. We have very few that belong to the sheriff's office, but we've got 10. And I think there's a total of somewhere around 67 countywide, owned by all agencies. Every agency owns some.
Okay.
I think Gadsden probably has the most, around 30 or 40.
As they should.
Yeah. And ours are really in the entrance and exits of the county, because if someone comes in and takes or steals or does, then, if we got a time frame, we might be able to find out who done that. So
a lot of people watching. Thank y'all for that.
I'm going to put one of those fake ones up.
Oh, you will put a fake flock?
Yeah, I'm going to put a fake one there on our road, that when they're going to the boat dock for those fishing tournaments,
get a billboard that this is a flock camera.
Right here. Or put Jonathan's face, Sheriff Horton's face.
I'm watching you. Johnny Cook is watching. Bo Black is watching.
That's some dudes right there.
See the way he said, Sheriff said,
he said,
Bo Black's watching.
Black.
Hey, so what's going on at the department, man? I know you guys are always got your hand in something, and a lot of education stuff you guys do, and school's back in session.
That's right.
And man, it's so I'm going to let you lead the way there, Sheriff.
Yeah. Well, we've had a lot of things going on when you talk about those things. School's back in session. It's getting near September the 30th, which is the end of the fiscal year, so we're working on budgets. I actually met yesterday with our new superintendent. Had a great meeting. I know she had just left here.
Yeah.
She had told me that. And
I'm sorry.
Miss Halton, she, I think, does a exceptional job. I met with her and Mr. Melton yesterday. And we talked about some school safety things and funding. It's really tough. We're fortunate here to have deputies on every campus, all of our 22 county schools, with the help of Southside Oklahoma City. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
But she's been very helpful, encouraging, as we're trying to seek funding for that, because there's a lot of money goes into salaries and those type jobs, but they're very needed.
Yeah.
And our children, our future is our future, and so I feel we add to that, not take from that. And so I look forward to that relationship with the board and continuing to do those things. Some of the things you asked that are going on, been doing for probably about 4 or 5 months now, episode called From the Sheriff's Desk. It's once a month. And the purpose of it is to just give information, share it with the public, be transparent, let them know how to come, what to expect. things that we do that some people know nothing about. And one of them that's very important to me we just done is 2 programs really, and they address and help the most vulnerable in our community. And that's a program called Project Lifesaver and another program called Invisible Disabilities. Invisible disabilities, a deputy or an officer, when he responds to a scene, he just sees what he sees when he gets there.
Mm-hmm.
But we provide through the invisible disabilities because some people, we don't know it. They may be on the autism spectrum. They may have hypoglycemia. They may have diabetes.
Yeah.
And so therefore they may respond differently to stress. They may be scared. It might not be that they're defiant. And so we provide them with 2 decals. We educate all of our local first responders. They can come to the sheriff's office. If they have someone with what we would call an invisible disability, they can stick that sticker on the back window. They can put one on the front of the house.
Huh.
Should we arrive not even to a call that involves that individual, we see that, we're alerted, we have better information, we can better help that person and understand them. Well, they're not defiant. There's an invisible disability.
Right.
Let's wait a minute. Let's figure out what's going on. And at the end of the day, the 3 things that we're looking for is that gives us better information, it gives us a quicker response, and it gives us a safer outcome. And that's the 3 things we're looking for.
That's awesome.
Outside of the invisible disabilities, and that's a free program. Just come to the sheriff's office. We give you the stickers free, and your name or your loved one or whomever it is goes into the 911 CAD database. So that way, that address, that tag, that vehicle, if they drive, we know if a call comes in, that subject's there. The officer's alerted before they even get there and see the sticker.
Also, the dispatcher sees it, and
that's right. We enter it in the
That's
database.
that's great.
The other program is Project Lifesaver. We have a lot of, some elderly with dementia, Alzheimer's develops, some on the autism spectrum. They don't recognize danger, so they could run away from the house. They could be near water.
Yeah.
They could be in extreme temperatures. It could be very hot. It could be very cold. So time matters.
Yeah.
So we've always had Project Lifesaver, but use some older technology. So we've upgraded with some better location services. So now for free again, come into the sheriff's office if you have someone with Alzheimer's dementia. We sign them up for Project Lifesaver. We provide them essentially an Apple Air card, and they can attach it to their loved one by either a bracelet, a watch, an anklet, put it on an article that may stay with them. And if they come up missing, we give the family member access to find them. And then they should always still call 911.
Sure.
But a lot of times they'll locate their loved one now before we ever get there, which puts us back in service, finds their loved one very quickly. And we probably have about somewhere around, I know we just maxed out one iPad. It's what holds the information, and that's 62. So we've got 63 people that has signed up on Project Lifesaver. And since I've been in office in 8 years, the first 6 years, we've had numerous calls where it took us, as much as 24, 48 hours to locate someone. And the outcomes haven't always been the best.
Yeah.
Wow. Since we've had this form of Project Lifesaver, 20 minutes. We've got that person back in custody, or we know exactly where they are.
I've never even heard of that.
So it's free, it's out there, it's available. If we respond to a call of Alzheimer's dementia, the person's wandered off, they can't be found. As soon as we locate that person, then we introduce them to it and get them signed. It resolves that problem.
Isn't there we've had a couple instances lately, right, where that's kind of, there's been a missing elderly person here locally, and it's so sad. It is so sad.
We had the one in Glencoe that was going for about 2 or 3 years.
That's right.
And a couple of local guys were rabbit hunting up near the county line off Tabor Road, I believe, and they wandered across a vehicle. And that individual was in a new vehicle, but it didn't have any tracking devices or any type of technology on it, believe it or not, that you could ping. She didn't have her phone with her. And she went down an old logging trail until it could go no further, and had been there all this time. And was just traveling from one place to the other. So, yes, if you have a loved one that has dementia, Alzheimer's, please get in touch with us. Our Criminal Investigation Division, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, and we'll equip you with that device, walk you through it, and get you signed up. And it can really mean the difference in life and death.
It's huge.
Great. I've never heard of it.
My mother-in-law has the beginning stages of dementia, but she doesn't drive. But still, that doesn't. Even if they don't drive, because they can wander away from their senior living apartments or whatever. I love that.
We had some close friends of ours that live out near me recently, and he had passed away not long ago and had suffered from Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and dementia eventually. And he had 27 acres. He would wander off in the woods and be fine, but not found. Yeah. And we were able to get him signed up for that. And they never had to call us again because they could find him before they had to call us. Yeah. Like they have the access. If you've got a smartphone, you can locate him. That's what it amounts to.
Be careful, because Kelly's going to call him and put one on you.
I'll probably already listed on there somewhere. They're probably already listed.
But those are some great services that we provide on the law enforcement side.
Let me start with there just for a second. Yeah. That requires funding.
It does.
How does funding? I know now that you don't have the pistol permit was a great income source. Right. How are we getting funding for these things?
The Project Lifesaver existed in the beginning up under the Pilot Club. The Pilot Club used to buy us the batteries and these little transistors.
Yeah.
I'm not a technology guy, but this is old technology. Like, we showed up with an antenna and we did like this until it went beep, and then when it went beep, 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 you were getting closer. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, it was dependent upon battery life. It was dependent upon they're within 100 yards of me, and you had to find how to get within 100 yards of me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure, if they just wandered out back, you might find them.
Yeah.
But with the new program, we still get a small amount of money every year from Project Lifesaver. But, it's not really that expensive. The iPad is what we track them on. Mm-hmm. The Air Card, they're like $30, $40 a piece. The watches, bands, and different devices we offer for free are $5 or $10. And so it's a small amount of money for a big impact. So we just find a way to provide it.
That's awesome.
That's what we do.
That's so good.
And on the invisible disabilities, there's really, the stickers, we ordered them. We got 100 of them for $5. There's not a lot to that. And then just typing it in the CAD, the computerized automatic dispatch system that already exists, the stickers, and you taking the time to drive up there and fill out the paperwork for us to enter and issue the stickers is the only cost involved.
Well, that helps your guys too.
It does.
If they pull somebody over, they know.
And if you took the man hours away from searching from people that we quickly find now.
Yeah.
Because we always call in all resources. And in addition to having that, we've also in the last year, and I'm not a technical guy, but I can tell you we've got a $50,000-$60,000 drone that's amazing. I mean, it'll get out there. It's got heat sink on it. It'll find heat.
Who do we let drive that thing?
What's that?
Who controls that?
Greg Hardwood is really the primary guy that drives.
Okay, that makes sense.
Drives it, flies it.
Why do you want to know? You ain't driving.
I just want to test it.
Take off and bring itself back. And we've got 2 or 3 batteries that'll stay in the air for a couple of hours. It can cover a large location. And a lot of people are going to drones. We have the drones and the helicopter. And with our new helicopter, we have FLIR, which is something we couldn't afford with our old helicopter. But we were able to get this new helicopter essentially for free through the military. And the Tuscaloosa Police Department had replaced it with a complete drone system. So they allowed us to have the helicopter for just a very reasonable price for the FLIR that was already installed. Less than $10,000.
That's crazy.
$100,000 system.
And what is a FLIR? What is
a FLIR gives the ability night vision at night for them to locate and see things like, for instance, if you've got a 500 acre of woods that someone might be in, they're going to locate the deer and the person.
Nice. Think Predator. Yeah. It's that Predator vision.
Predator vision. Okay.
Yeah. Same thing.
It's
dumbing it down. What you doing?
I got to speak to me. That's how I speak to myself.
The good thing, ultimately, no matter whether we're in the detention center, whether we're on the roads, no matter what we're doing, safety is our primary focus. And none of it, I couldn't do it all. We have 179 deputies. And one of the things we talked about on the last sheriff's desk that just came out was going behind the walls of the detention center, talking about where 74 of them work.
That's so cool.
We're over, up to 1,000 people are housed, which is the size of a small city. You have 10 units. You have 74 deputies assigned to it. It runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. There's never a break. You have medical facilities. You're feeding over 2,550 people a day. So some of the things we talked about is just 3 simple things. How is it funded? Who's responsible for the detention center? That's a multi-answered question.
Sure.
Primarily the county commission. And then you talk about who's in charge of it. Well, that's the sheriff. He's a constitutional officer responsible for day-to-day operations. And then we talked about a SACIT thing, and that's all the things that goes on in there, the logistics. You have 3 meals a day, which currently, yesterday, we had 850 inmates.
Wow.
Well, that's 2,550 meals a day. Well, that's funded, believe it or not, at $2.25 to $4 a day, depending on whether it's a federal inmate, a municipal inmate, or a state inmate. But we feed them all the same. We use a dietitian. They get a nutritional guidelines. We provide special diets. We also provide for legitimate religious purposes, some religious diets, because we house ICE detainees, U.S. Marshals, a variety of inmates. But the third part we talked about is, And really, along with the second part I left out, our medical staff, we're fortunate. In Etowah County, a lot of jails, and we have one of the largest ones in the state. When you come into jail, if something goes wrong, like I've got chest pains, I can't breathe well, I think I'm sick, that's a doctor's appointment. If it's an acute situation, that's an ambulance call. You go to the hospital. Mm-hmm. Well, we're fortunate here. We're not required, but because of our federal contracts, we have medical attention 24 hours a day. We have a licensed doctor, nurse practitioner, RNs, LPNs. We have mental health services. We have a dentist. So there's a full suite of medical. Obviously, if you're having a heart attack, the ambulance carries you to the hospital. But if you need some stitches, or if you've got a flu, or if you've got something wrong with you, if you've got diabetes when you come in, mm-hmm. if you need radiation, because these things can be expensive, but all of those medicines are provided. All those treatments are taken care of. So we're fortunate to have a large medical operation going on in the jail. But the third thing is the most important thing, is we offer opportunity. We have many projects. We have the opportunity to get your GED. We have the opportunity to learn a skill or a trade, workforce development. We have the opportunity to get substance abuse treatment. Just recently, we have the Step It Up program that if you have a mental health issue that you may have been born with, or you may have developed, unfortunately, as a subsequent side effect of too long use of drugs, right, then we are able to assess you, and if we can give you medicines that will help offset and cause you to be normal, that's our goal. But you get those opportunities in that program, and they're paid for even after you leave the detention center. Obviously, we couldn't do those things in isolation. We've got the help of Gadsden State, New Life, the County Commission, a new program we just took on called Family Extended Family, where they actually, if you have someone that's about to be released, this gentleman comes, he has a 501(c) from Cherokee County. He comes in with extended family. He spent time in prison. He had this ministry, and he does a phenomenal job. And he helps just transition them and say, hey, when you get out, these are things you need to do. Yeah. You need to get a job. When you get a job, you need to get an address. And just basic things. We teach basic life skills. We have Pastor Joseph Simmons, a phenomenal guy with the Fatherhood Initiative, that comes in during the Impact program. So we can't make people do right, but we want to at least give them the opportunity to get the help. Because here's the thing, we're not just warehousing people. We're going to take them and release them back amongst ourselves, the community. So can we make them do right? No. Yeah. But I feel a responsibility that we give them every opportunity to give them the tools, if they will take them, to replace the decision making that got them here. And so ultimately that's it. But it's like cutting grass in the cemetery. When you get through, you just start over. You know what I mean?
That's
you want to keep
great analogy.
And so you've just got to keep working at it. And we hope, and we see our recidivism rate slowly going down. But it's sort of like that speeding we were talking about a while ago. I'll get a phone call, man, they're just blowing me away on Green Valley Road. Well, then this 589 square miles and the 4 deputies I have working that day, while they're sitting over there, they're just blowing Sand Valley Road away. They'll run over there and they start doing that here. And with technology today, we've got Google, and then we talked about one time, they're 2 miles ahead of you, slow down. And so it's really
Don't you love technology?
It's really difficult. Right. I mean, it's hard enough to keep people straight in a confined facility. Much less out here behind the wheel of a VA.
Hey, can I let's talk a little bit about some drama. Can we talk drama a little bit?
Why not?
I see you said, why not? Get this water in me. Social media is crazy. I know on the last week or so, I've noticed social media. Somebody said my brother's uncle's cousin's nephew was in the Etowah County jail, and they refused to give him their medication. The furthest thing from the truth.
Absolutely.
Can you just speak to that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when someone comes into jail and they go through the booking process, they spend about a minimum of 15 minutes in a medical assessment. When people come to jail, first of all, it doesn't mean they're coming to jail. Right. There's many times our own deputies or Gadsden Police Department or the Itala Police Department, because we house for our local municipalities, show up and we say, hey, we're not taking them. Yeah. They're not physically fit for jail. At that point, they're required to carry them to the emergency room. An attending physician has to see them and sign a certificate that says they're fit for jail. Then they come back. At that point, we assess all of their medical conditions. If they have medicines that are maintenance medications like diabetes, things of this nature, then immediately that medicine is ordered, comes from IHS Pharmacy. Much like the hospital, it's some little pop things with their name on it. Whenever they're released, all that medicine's returned. So do we allow them to bring in their own meds? Sometimes. If they have a specific med and a condition that we can't readily get, we allow that. But 99% of all meds we either already have in stock or we get them on the way. Once they're assessed, they're given their medicine and they're living every day in a unit. Okay, they're classified first of all, classed 1 through 3. One's your better inmate to your most higher risk inmate, because either they've been there before and we've been able to classify them, or based on their charges. If we've never seen them before or we don't have a classification on them, they go to Unit 1 and stay for a minimum of 3 to 5 days so that we can observe their character, see how they act around others, so that we can classify them 1 through 3. Then they're housed accordingly. If they get to their housing unit after they've been through all of that and they get a headache to something may even be a little more serious, they immediately get transported by rover to our in-house infirmary and medical unit. This there 24 hours a day. If someone needs hospital care, they're in the hospital. If they get to a place that they can be released, we have enough. We have the level of care that they come to our infirmary and stay in one of those beds, and not in the regular unit, and they're observed around the clock the same as if they were in the hospital.